The Upper Peninsula is known for a few things, but the main thing that it is known for is snow. Every single year, well, we get plenty of it. What are we supposed to do with that information? What are we supposed to do knowing that we have an entire peninsula that half the year is dedicated to snow? Well, that's what I'm here to do. I'm helped to sort out what should we do in all of these cities. Let's start out in the eastern side of the UP talking about snowmobiling. In fact, we're talking about the whole eastern UP region because snowmobiling is great there. Partially because of the dedicated people that make sure that everything is groomed and the trails stay fast and in great shape. And then also because there's just a great culture of people and so many trails that you can actually ride from city to city. You can stop, you can eat dinner, and then you can ride on to the next spot. An awesome way to go when you're in the eastern Upper Peninsula from Sault Ste. Marie to the Mission Hill Overlook is such a fantastic ride, and usually you can get back to Sault Ste. Marie and it's just about 1 day's worth of traveling if you're stopping and having fun like we typically do. If you're talking about something to do with the whole family, well, in Sault Ste. Marie, the Sault Seal Recreation Area has these tubing hills, and when I say they're fast, I mean they're fast. On a snow-packed day, those things will rip down that hill, and the best part is you don't have to walk back up. You just hand them your line, and the tow rope brings you right back up to the top. And it's a pretty inexpensive way to spend the day with the entire family. Let's talk about the Marquette, Negaunee, Ishpeming area. Now, I recognize that those are all separate cities with their own communities, but they do share something in common, and that's largely the same amount of snowfall. One of the most recognizable names in snow in Marquette is Marquette Mountain, and that hill is fantastic. I feel like I don't need to cover Marquette Mountain too much because it is so well known. And there's two other sports that I fell in love with in Marquette, and it's helped me enjoy the UP as a whole. Number one is snowshoeing. When I lived in Marquette, I was an avid snowboarder, and then I absolutely fell in love with snowshoeing with one specific hike. That was the hike up Hogsback. Now, when you're doing this, plan on spending a good majority of the day outside. That hike challenged me, which made it more fun for me. It gave me a reason to wear snowshoes. Without it, I don't know if I would have been able to make it up there.
That was the biggest hike I've ever done in the winter.
Absolutely.
I'm exhausted.
And the payoff of the view is second to none. It's one of the most beautiful, rewarding, and stunning views that I've ever experienced in the winter, and because of the challenge of that hike, it made it so much better. The second sport that I love doing in Marquette and Ishpeming is so good at is winter fat biking, because there's a community of people who take very good care of the trails and make it so much fun for people like me to go out and enjoy. Am I the most advanced rider in the world? No, but I do have maybe the most amount of fun while I'm doing it, and I would recommend it to anybody who is iffy on if they think fat biking is fun. Try it in this area, you'll have fun.
I'll take the opportunity to use a rope swing whenever I find one, even if it's not exactly the perfect season.
So now we're continuing to move west. Don't worry, we'll go up to the Keweenaw soon, but right now we're moving west and we're gonna stop at Ironwood. Everything that we talked about, these other communities with snowshoeing, snowboarding, and snowmobiling is here in Ironwood. If you like any of those things, it's a great spot to do any of these winter snow sports.
You got the sun just beaming down on your face right now.
Yeah, this is a perfect morning.
But the Ironwood area has one spot that I do want to cover, and it does involve snowshoeing. But I do have a theory about snowshoeing. I like to use them to enhance my time outdoors. That means when I'm hiking, if a snowshoe is not required by the trail or it's not required by the depth of the snow or how icy it is, usually I take them off and I throw them on my pack. And in this case, that's what we ended up doing. We had them on sometimes during the day, and then we had them off during other times as we hiked along the Black River. The waterfalls there were not yet completely frozen over, so there were some awesome little cutouts of the water as it flowed through the river, and we were able to step out to the viewing platforms and see this as we went along to Black River Harbor. The reward at the end to hike across the suspension bridge to the waterfall on that side is so sweet that I would recommend that to anybody looking to spend maybe a half a day outside. There's snow, and then there's Keweenaw snow. And if you're lucky when you're up there, you might get to experience a little bit of this. And by a little bit, I typically mean a lot. It's weird to continually say this, but it is important to say that all of the snow sports that we're talking about are very much part of the community in this area. I do love going to Mount Ripley when I'm there because you can go snowboarding all day, have a great time, and it is sitting on the Hancock side overlooking Houghton. So as soon as you're done riding, you just go to the bottom of the hill and then just a quick car ride and you're downtown for an awesome dinner at one of the restaurants, or you can just hang out at Keweenaw Brewing Company. Personally, I really like that because of the proximity to being in the city. Now, if you're looking for an adventure, and I mean a true adventure where you're going to push yourself on your skiing and snowboarding limits, well, if I have to tell you, you might not be ready for it, but I'm talking about Mount Bohemia. It has so many steep, graded runs, challenging terrain, and then just more powder than I have ever experienced in my entire life.
Landed it.
Where did you go?
I got into such deep powder that I got stuck.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had an amazing run down to this point. It's been my most graceful run of the day.
Nice.
It stands as a challenge to entice people to come up there and test their skills. I've never been at a ski resort where I legitimately felt like I was using my snowboard to explore until I went here. It is such a unique experience that anybody that's looking for something a little bit different, this is the spot I'd recommend to go to.
Do you have any reference to what Mordor, the Shire, Gandalf, Helm's Deep, do you have any idea what those are referenced to?
Yeah.
What?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, geez, you heard that last night.
No, I knew that. I've never watched them.
Since we just covered a bunch of spots across the whole Upper Peninsula about things to do in the snow, I do want to cover a couple things that will help people that are new to snow sports. Rentals are a great option and will help you determine if you love the sport and if you want to do that multiple times a year. For me personally, I know that I love snowmobiling, but I also don't want to maintain and keep a sled year-round. So for me, when I go snowmobiling, rentals are a great option. Number 2, lessons. The ski hills across the UP are excellent with lessons and rental combos. That is going to make it so that you have more fun faster, and then it's going to allow you to be able to do it more often and get you into the sport. It's kind of like a cheat code to jump you into it. And finally, I'm going to talk about it again, snowshoes. They're such a great investment for somebody who is new into outdoor snow sports. The reason being is you can use them in so many applications to help you go and explore more. And since we're talking about the Upper Peninsula, we're talking about one of the snowiest places in all of the United States. The amount of combinations where you can take snowshoes and you can add the UP is endless. Until next time, cheers.